What's up, everyone?
Hey.
Welcome back to Bold Moves. This is episode 6
Episode 6. Wow.
on the Property Sisters Network.
Look at us.
I know. You guys, thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
That was one of our biggest things when we got started. We're like, if we do this, we're going to have to be consistent. So, bravo.
Yeah. Really
us.
excited for us.
Yeah. So, this is super fun. Christy's got her big ideas book, and we're just gonna put some more goodness out there today.
Yep.
So we want to know how you guys are feeling too. So on our previous episodes, if you want to just leave a comment, let us know what you think or what your thoughts are, along the lines of whatever we're talking about. Like, we want to hear from you eventually. Hopefully we end up doing this live. But for now, we're just pretty comfortable recording and and posting later.
Just trying to stay consistent. As far as our timing, when we get into the studio, it's a little off. So we're just trying to work some things out.
Yeah, that too.
And just, make sure that we can keep things consistent. And hopefully, we do something different in the new year.
Yeah. So you're on this journey with us.
Yeah. Buckle up.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
But I did. I was thinking I did want to kind of piggyback off of last week's episode a little bit when we were talking about saying no and setting boundaries. I feel like I applied it a little bit more to life instead of your business, which I guess they do go hand in hand. But I was thinking more along the lines of just when you are thinking about that work-life balance and setting those boundaries with your clients, it's so important that you do that early on, like on your consultation, on your listing appointment and things like that, where, you're figuring out their schedules, you're letting them know when they can expect to be hearing from you. And you just want to stay ahead of it so that you're not constantly running around and, like a chicken with your head cut off. And that can be different for everyone. I feel like when I was new and I didn't have business or, when was still trying to get business, I was just pretty much getting up when someone was like, I want to see a house and jumping, running around all over the place. And it was fine for a little while because you want to, you got boots on the ground, you want to just kind of run with it. But then you're like, I don't know what's going on and everything is crazy and I'm exhausted. And it's just like,
did you recently run into this problem where you had to balance your client schedule?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I feel like I've been doing a lot of reflecting and and I'm like just trying to find, I've been really working on trying to plug the holes in my work life because I really want to set myself up for the new year where I don't run into that burnout. I don't run into that, like, I want to just ignore everybody because I'm like losing my shit, to be completely honest with you. And I'm like, where did I go wrong? And it was just because so many people, it's like, it's not like you can have all your clients on the same schedule, but as long as you know what your schedule is, staying ahead of that, letting them know like when they can expect to hear from you, find out if they're 9 to 5 people, you're probably going to be showing, during the week in the evening or, on the weekends and stuff like that. And that's fine. But, figuring out what you're going to be doing, what days those are going to be, like all that matters, especially if you want to get busier and grow your business. And that's where I'm at. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm maxed out and I'm not even doing the numbers that I want to be doing and, how I see our business going forward.
Right.
So it was just like, what needs to be done? And, we hear it all the time, but I feel like sometimes it doesn't resonate with you because, maybe I've known a client for sometimes a year or so, maybe longer. And like, you've already just been kind of chit-chatting back and forth. So you don't really think about it. It just kind of like happens and you're like,
yeah, I mean, that's fine too. I mean,
it's all fine.
However you want to run your business.
Yeah. And it's fine until it's not. And that's pretty much where I found myself, like kind of like August, September. And I was just like tapped out completely. Yeah. And I was like, okay, we need to figure this out. And I swear it's just been me like recovering from that ever since, like slowly but surely. But I'm like, I don't want to get to that point again. I want to make sure everything is.
So let me ask you this. What are you doing now that's different from what you did before to implement some of that?
A lot of it is just me setting that boundary up front and figuring out their schedule, like I mentioned, and knowing like, okay, I want to have Sundays for me. I need a personal day, and the weekends were always crazy for us, and I'm just like, I need at least one day where I'm taking care of Christy, and whatever that means, catching up on me, doing whatever it is that I want to do. And, sometimes like we do open houses Saturdays, Sundays. So then it's like, okay, but that's not all the time. But I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, when's my personal day going to be? So I'm trying to really just map out like, okay, maybe it's a Sunday or a Monday that is like a little bit slower, a little bit, quieter at
Mhm.
least,
Mhm.
and make sure I still have my own personal time,
Yeah.
because that was just completely out the window. Like I was just, at the office and in and out, like running errands and stuff like that during my workday. But it's like, you become exhausted. You're like, I
Right.
just want my own time. I want,
Right.
maybe I just want
So
to do nothing sometimes,
sure,
like
yeah.
we're
You should
human
always have a
too. And,
day.
you
Yeah.
need that. It's important just so you can stay present and, be available for the people that, that they need you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that was a big thing for me for sure.
So when you are getting, like, let's just say you have a client for or multiple clients, for example, and they tell you, I'm a 9 to 5 person, or I work nights and weekends. How are you manipulating your calendar to accommodate them, but also staying the course for your own schedule?
I feel like I just have been better about letting them know, like, I'm going to send you homes. Let me know, it works for you. Do you prefer after work? Do you prefer going on the weekends? And, during this time, it's getting dark earlier and it kind of takes away from seeing the house and getting the
Right.
actual visual of like what it would be like as, it's different in the daytime.
Right.
So I kind of let them know that too. And then I'm like, why don't we, you're going to be, it's a long day for you anyway, unless it's like a situation where, offers are getting, coming in and it's something we need to see right away. Maybe we go Saturday morning and,
Yeah.
just kind of set that up, but set that up in the beginning while you're having that consultation and let them know, we can like let them know what's going on in the market, but also let them know, like, as far as showings, because maybe it's not just one, maybe it's two, three, four,
Right.
you know. So you always want to let them know this would be best. You can get the feel for the home, see it, all the natural light, all those things, they all matter. It's all important.
Yeah.
So it's just something that I've been letting them know. And I'm like, of course I want to, work around your schedule because I don't want to be like, well, I'm not going to be available. And you don't want to say it that way. You just want to let them know, like,
Hey, it might be better
this
to
is
go
in
at
your
this
best
different
interest. And it
time. Yeah.
actually is,
Yeah.
So just
I agree
little
with
things
that.
like that, and I feel like it's been helpful for me and my schedule. And it also works out for them because they're happy too,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's all really good stuff, and I feel like Austin talks a lot about that, and, just keeping your own schedule locked in while also accommodating your clients. I think that it goes both ways because for me, I don't really work well like that.
Mhm.
I like to be more around the clock. If a client texts me, if I tell them, "Yeah, I'll get back to you on X day at X time," that's amazing for someone that can do that, but for me, I'm forgetting about you. If I'm
Mhm.
not answering you like that, at least that day, like I get text messages and calls and maybe I'm on other appointments and things like that. And that's fair because I have other clients
Of
and other
course.
things to do or whatever it is. But if they're texting me or calling me and I've got to get back to them, I'm gonna do it like right away because if not if they're not in front of me I don't
Right.
remember them because we have a whole database and of course with the clients that I have I want to make you feel like you're my only client and
Right.
I would say I do a good job of that because I do ask my clients for the feedback because I want to stay on top of my business and that's one of the ways that I personally do it and that's how I have found my own personal success
Yeah.
but I get that it's different for everybody so it's cool that there's you could
Yeah.
add
There's
a
no right or wrong
right,
way.
you
It's
could add a
it's
structure to it if you
exactly.
want, or you can just kind of flow like water and do it on your own terms like that. And as far as personal days go, I set that boundary for sure. I don't necessarily tell them
Right.
that Sundays don't call me or
Yeah. No,
you know
no,
what I mean,
no.
like things like that. And I'm not saying you do, but that's just and Sunday is one of my days that I take to myself and I do what I do on my personal day and maybe that turns into a Monday because Mondays are typically slow for my clients too because they're just going back to work and it's almost like that's like my extra weekend. Like Saturdays I'm typically working,
Yeah.
Sundays and Mondays I'm typically not. I'm still, sending houses out or
Yeah.
whatever the case may
Follow-ups, things
be.
like that. Yeah.
But for the most part, I tend to keep that day. And if there's someone that needs to go see a house or something of the nature needs to get done, I have you, I have Jimmy, I have other people that are in my corner that I can ask for help,
Right.
which is also an amazing thing to have.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to consider as well once you are, taking on more clients and
Yeah.
structuring your schedule and things like that, is to know, okay, these are the days that I'm not going to be available. Am I going to be able to accommodate for this in the future somehow for this person? Or
Mhm.
is it like a hard no? Because if it is, that's got to get figured out somehow, because then
Right.
your customer service kind of starts to dwindle. In
Mhm.
in my opinion, I've been working in customer service my entire life since I've
Yeah.
had a job.
Same.
It's been always customer service, and if you do just keep, going and accommodating the client, it's like, yeah, you can start to spiral for sure and just kind of feel like I'm dragged one way and I'm dragged another way. And that's a easy trap to slip into if you're not mindful about it. So
Right.
like, I will accommodate my clients if they're texting me at 10, 11 o'clock and whatever. And if I'm awake and I have the mental capacity to
Right.
respond, I will do it. But like, I don't, my, it's typically not like that. We're
Right.
talking about like the one off here that
That's
might happen.
exactly what I was gonna say is there's always an exception to the rule,
Mhm.
but at the same time, keeping yourself, like, mindful of your schedule, of your clients, and just wanting to, keep everything flowing, the world go round type of feeling.
Yeah.
It's just good to have something
It's
in
good to have
mind.
structure.
Yeah, a little
It's
bit of structure goes a long way, and I had
yeah.
none, like 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kinda where I'm coming from is, like, at least trying to get a little something
For sure.
set up
I was always
because
like,
I was just all over the place. It didn't work for me. So,
right.
but you find what works for you, and that's kind of the beauty of it. The beauty and the pain really of this
Mhm.
business.
Yeah. So with structure in my head, like before I would just do all the things and all that. But then I started to get very anxious about literally everything from work to personal life. Everything was just out of sorts. And then I started really locking in my calendar. Like my calendar is all color coded in my phone, and I've got everything in there. The gym, I have everything
Mhm.
in there. Like even the little things just to keep me on track. Even if I'm like a little bit off, it's okay. It's just it keeps me on track. But I was always a little bit nervous about doing it that way, to just like stick to a calendar, because then I was scared of becoming robotic.
Mhm.
I was scared of that feeling of like, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. And then it's just like, okay, then the day is over. And I feel like do I even have feelings?
Right.
Like I just felt like, oh, this is gonna get robotic. But then I realized it's not. You're not
Right.
robotic.
You're disciplined.
You're disciplined, you have
Yeah.
structure.
Yep.
There's so many things that are going on in our world that if you don't have that, then you get the opposite, which is where I was before, which is the anxiousness and confusion and
Mhm.
did I do this? I don't know.
Lost.
It's not on my calendar.
Yeah.
If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Right.
So, and then we've got Austin. We mention Austin a lot, and just so you're familiar, Austin Chevron and his cousin Nate Chevron have a team in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they have a
They did, but they have a
oh, they
coaching
did. No, they
program
still do
now.
have their
No, I
team.
don't think they
They don't?
do.
They have people. Please confirm.
No. They
Um,
don't. But
but they have a coaching platform, and
yes.
we coach with them a lot, and they're a lot of the stuff that you hear from us will come as a token from them and what they teach us. But
Yeah.
that's exactly why we wanted to start doing this podcast, was to just get out there and hopefully touch one person and maybe help one person, as because we get poured into all the time.
And
So
we're in the middle of a couple of their programs right now, so that's kind of why so much of this has been coming out because it's
yeah.
been reflection, awareness, and
Yeah.
so much of that, her and I, Raquel and I have been talking about together, and just doing everything that we're doing. We do it all together, so it's like we need to get this
Yes.
out.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's good. And just to kind of put a bow on all of it, is the structure is good, because life can get crazy. You have work, you have your personal stuff that you've got to take care of, whether you live at home like me and Christy, or whether you're married and have kids and other obligations that you tend to. But having a schedule is probably one of the best things that that I've incorporated into my life,
Mhm.
because even if I'm not on time for
Yeah.
something, it just keeps me focused
Right.
and, okay, this is what I have to do, so I'm gonna get it done, and then, like, for that day, I'll write a to-do list, and I'll break some stuff down for that day, but for the majority of it, it's pretty locked in, so definitely an important factor to have as a some, mental clarity with, is having that schedule outlined for yourself, for your personal, for your
Mhm.
business, and that's gonna be how you wanna live your life,
Yeah,
essentially, you don't want it
exactly.
to feel robotic, so put the stuff in there that's for
The
you.
important stuff, going from not having anything on my calendar, like, to having a schedule. I'm not perfect. I'm working on this
We're all
all
still
the
working on
time.
this,
Like,
yeah.
it sounds like I feel like sometimes when we talk, like, we just got it all together and everything's
It's
peachy,
quite
but
the
it's
opposite.
literally the opposite. It's like you know what to do, you know what you need to do, but sometimes, like, actually doing it, life happens, things happen, you don't sleep well, it's whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like, but at least you have something. And that something, just something to follow, something, okay, what can I do today? Even if you can't give 100%. If you give
Right.
50% and you give the full 50%, that's 100%. So, period.
Yeah, let's go. Spitting fire.
I swear it
Awesome.
helps. Yeah.
Yeah, no, all of that is such a it's so important to, like, it sounds like, "Oh, here we go again." And I have those same thoughts because I hear this all the time, and I
Literally
and I
for
do get
years.
annoyed of it, like, I really do, but it is so important, and if you're not constantly reminded of it, you will
It
fall off.
Mhm.
And maybe you won't. Maybe you're like an A plus student, but if you know me and Christy, we're not really A plus students. I'm
No.
really trying these days to
Yeah.
be. Gotten a lot better, but it's a constant practice, and just gotta stay the
Yeah.
course. Gotta stay with it.
100%. I mean, that's all you can do really,
Yeah.
is just being aware of it, be conscious of it, and do your best.
Yeah.
Um,
All right,
so
that's about
yeah,
it,
but
guys. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
guess we'll see you later. Um, but I also wanted to say, because I feel like I've been doing a lot to reach out to past clients, current clients, everyone just kind of in my database and everything. You want to, like, stay connected and, get yourself set up for next year. And I feel like the last couple of months with, like, back to school, the election, all that stuff, it was a lot slower for me. I don't know if that's for everybody. Great for you if it wasn't, but just, this is where I've been at. But recently, with all, like, the holiday and, just kind of wanting to reconnect and touch base and everything, I've been having some great conversations. I feel like a lot of people have a little more downtime. There's not as much going on this time of year. And, before, when I started, I was like, oh, people don't want to be bothered. It's like the holidays, they have family coming around and stuff like that. So
Right.
I didn't really think about it in a way that, was positive, but the feedback that I've gotten, it's been, people are really curious about the market right now. People are curious, what's going on? Is it a good time? Where are rates and blah, 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 all the same stuff that you're
Yeah.
always hearing. But I think they really just want to know that you're involved, that you know what you're doing. They want to know that they're in good hands. I've I've even met with a couple of clients, just to have coffee and,
Yeah.
touch base, because it's been so long
Well,
that
I
I know
wanna
I'm
just
rambling, I can
I
tell.
just wanna touch on a point that you mentioned was, we think that we're bothering them. You don't wanna talk to your clients because you feel like you're bothering them. That is such a horrible mindset to have,
Mhm.
because guess what? If you think that, then you are bothering them. And I'm not saying that
No,
was
you're
you.
fine. Go ahead.
I'm saying in
Yeah.
general, because I feel that too, but it's your mindset comes into play 99% of the time in no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's your clients that you're reaching out to, your relationships, your friends, whatever. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. Oh, they're that. You're already putting
The energy
a
out there.
negative
Yeah.
energy out there. So you're prepared to receive that. And,
Mhm.
like, that is so not the way you should be conducting any relationship in your life. Like,
Yep.
act as if. And that's one thing that has always stuck with me. I don't know who said it to me, but, like, oh, your client, you're scared of your client and you don't know if they want to work with you or not. Well, act as if, hey, you know, I'm sending you this house and it looks so nice. And I really think it would work for you and your family. Like, please let me know what you think. I'm so excited
Yeah.
to
I would
send you
love
this
to show
house.
you this
Yeah.
one. I
Or
think it's
like,
perfect. And
yeah. And like, even with the holidays, like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. I hope that, it was an amazing holiday for you and you spent time with doing whatever you love and who you love to do it with and all
mhm.
of that. And I did that, and the response was incredible
Yeah.
because that's what I'm expecting because that's
That's what you're
you
giving.
that's you putting goodness out there. So you don't wanna
Mhm.
say, "Oh, I'm bothering them." No, I'm gonna wish as many people a Merry Christmas as I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk down the street and smile at people because that's
It's
what I
just a
wanna put
nice
into
thing.
the
Yeah,
world. So
exactly.
don't go into anything thinking, I'm bothering them or I'm this or I'm that and that's something that I've struggled with, and I will tell you this all the time that I preach this stuff because it is things that I am practicing too. I am
Yeah.
not perfect in any way, shape, or form, and I
Same.
don't claim to be. I just feel like I have done a lot of self-reflecting with this stuff
Yeah.
that I'm able to talk about it because I implement it.
Mhm.
These are things that I personally am working on myself. That reason that I'm sitting here to want to share it with you is because it works.
Yeah.
I'm not just sitting here talking out the left side of my mouth. Like, this stuff works. If you actually get up in the morning and say you're going to have a great day, I've been doing that. And you guys, the last couple of days have been just amazing. I have felt so good. Like, this is just the energy that you have to want to carry all of the days of your life.
Mhm.
Like, it sounds heavy when you say it like that, but it's across the board. If you go into something and you're thinking negative, that's what you're going to get out of it. But if you go into something and you put positive energy out there and you expect to receive positive back, then 9 out of 10 times that's what you're going to receive back.
Yeah.
It's not going to be all the time. People are still going to be nasty
Yeah.
and
But
maybe
it's
you will
how
get
you
someone that
react,
says,
you
"Don't
know?
bother me." And it's like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry to bother you. I just wanted to wish you
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Hope you're having a
Shoot
nice
me."
holiday season.
Yeah, like,
Sorry.
clearly you need to pick me up. Like, "You
Yeah.
want me to buy you a cup of coffee? Because like, I'll
Right.
do
Let's
that,
talk about it.
Yeah, like, let's get in there. Let's see what's really going on,
Yeah. Like
but
it's a people business. It's something that you just want to keep putting that good out there. But like I feel like it comes back to where is this coming from? Where is the negativity coming from? And
it's
what's
not
the intent?
it's
Like,
you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's you. But like
Yeah. Where in your life is
where
it? Yeah.
exactly? Yeah. And you have to find it. And that's part of the inner work that we've been talking about doing,
Yeah.
because it's so huge and it's something that you don't even think about or realize that it was there because it's
Mhm.
been your way of
You've
thinking
been
for so
harvesting
long.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's wild, like it's truly mind-blowing.
Mhm.
It really is because once you have that aha moment where you're like, "Wow, like it's
Oh,
me,
yeah.
I'm the problem."
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah, like looking in the mirror,
when
"Who's
you
spending all
when
my
you
money?" "Oh,
realize
it's
that
me."
that's another
Seriously.
topic, but still it's just like, you when you have that and you're like, "Wow, like okay, how can I fix this?" And you know, like uh just pretty much like you're healing yourself by putting that goodness back out there and getting it back. It's just like
Yeah,
it's another cycle,
yeah.
and it's really a beautiful thing
You have to
when you implement it.
yeah,
And this is a great time of year to do that too.
yeah, just keeping, either a mental note or a journal or something and think about the things that maybe have been causing you to live your life a certain way.
Mhm.
Like today, I was like, I really wanna go to a concert with my friend. And I don't typically go to like, I haven't gone out and, like, I feel like I kinda, like, suck the fun out of my own life. And going back to, CreatorCon, I forgot who said, "Find out where in your life that you lost your voice." Do you remember who said that?
Ooh.
Was it Ed? Was it I keep calling him Ed. I don't even think his name's Ed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna think about that.
Shout out to whoever you
Yeah.
are. But someone said, think about where you were at in your life when you lost your voice. And that has stayed in my brain
Yeah,
since
both of
that
us.
day. And I'm like, I think I lost my voice. I think I have become so hardened that I forgot like what Raquel likes to do for fun. I forgot what fills my cup. I'm just trying to fill it with things that I think I should be filling it with. But like what is it really? And then so I'm like, I don't even know why I started talking about this,
It's okay, run with it.
um, but I was like, I kind of want to go to this concert. So like, I'm gonna ask my friend if she wants to go. And she's like, heck yeah, I'll go. I was like, oh my God, we're going to this concert. And like, I don't even like leave the house past like 8, 9 o'clock now. And I'm like, I'm gonna be out of that house for like a minute. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm incorporating fun into my life again. I've done so many other things that have just like to go into this like refueling of who I am or who I was before that person was taken away from me because life hit me so hard.
Mhm.
So it's like, and I'm not saying I went through like some crazy stuff. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
We did, but like I'm here. So it's like okay, so how do I take that stuff and learn from it?
Yeah.
That's where we're going with that. How do I take all that stuff, learn from it, reflect on it,
Yeah.
let it simmer, feel the
Yep.
feeling, and then let it go because there's no sense in harvesting
That pain,
that
that
pain. Yeah,
feeling,
like
that
all of it. It's like all that crap was just, it's a part of your life and you just you just move on. Like
yeah.
there's, I pretty much just pressed everything down and buried it and buried it and buried it and buried it
But a lot of
till
people
like
do that, and you
yeah.
don't realize it, and some people don't have this realization until it's too late,
Yeah.
and,
But then
the
you
years have
become like a
passed.
volcano and you start to erupt
Yeah, that
and
happens too.
think like that was me anyway. And I felt just like that. I was like, I'm gonna like I feel awful. And so I just let it erupt and then started filling my life with like, okay, this is who I want to be. And I want to tap back into the fun Raquel. And then, I used to sing growing up and like I was in choir and I did theater and I did all this stuff. And then I stopped singing and
Yeah,
then I stopped doing everything that
yeah.
I love to do,
Dance, all that.
dance and soccer. And like I used to do all these things. And I'm like, I had so much fun
Mhm.
doing all that stuff. And then I had to work and then I had to make sure I was making money, and then
Right.
I had
Bills are
and
paid
then I
and
was worried about
life slaps you in the
yeah,
face.
like stupid relationships or like what just so much
Yeah.
nonsense, and I'm like, I want to like sit home and just sing karaoke one day, and shout out to our best friends and like our other sister Alexa, she's a singer too, and I mean, I'm not saying I'm over here like I'm a great singer, you guys. Like I'm probably not the greatest anymore. Just in my car, I actually think I'm great, um, but my girl, she's like, I just bought a new karaoke machine. So like, I'll give you my old one. I was like, oh my God, this sounds like so much fun. I am totally going to sit in my house and sing karaoke again because that makes me happy. Like, and
Mhm.
I just want to do all of these things that make me happy again and you can tell I'm like smiling. I'm getting happy right now just talking about
I
it because
swear.
these are just the things that like you forget about and life has just trampled over you like a freaking
Yeah.
elephant. And then you're like, well, now I'm squashed potatoes. And I'm like, I don't like any of this, but like,
But it comes with not to cut you off, I feel like it's come from, like, the people you've surrounded yourself with. It comes
yeah,
from your environment, and it comes from, like, okay, are you judging yourself? Or you think your
yeah,
people are gonna
yeah,
the
you
people that
do.
you are supposed to love you, be your friends, be there for you, are gonna judge you, but, like, you can't just relax and enjoy yourself and have a
Right,
good time and, like, sing at the
right.
top of your lungs and, have fun with your
Yeah,
people, like, life, I feel like the ride just kind of changes whoever's on it, whoever gets off. And, it's just all of that comes into play.
yeah.
And until we've started doing more of this inner work and reflecting and all that, we're probably going to be on this topic
It's
for like a
becoming
minute.
so much fun
But
though,
it
like
is, you get to this point, which I think is so beautiful because you're like, okay, like I'm pouring back into Raquel now. Like
yeah,
it's my time to come back and I have my voice again and I'm
yeah,
comfortable in my own skin and I love the people
yes,
I'm, in my life and my circle and my work and all of that. I think this is what comes from doing that work is
yeah,
you build that back up and you're like,
yeah.
when was I happy? What was I doing? What hobbies
Right,
did I have? Like,
right.
and that's the best part is like
Yeah.
now you're like, okay, I'm in it.
What
Like
song am I singing
what are we
next?
doing? And you
Yeah.
guys, we went to Mexico and I swear to you, it was the funniest thing because I was like, we were all going to this karaoke place or whatever in the resort and everything. And I'm like, Raquel, we're going to do karaoke. And I'm not even like that big of a karaoke person at all. But I was just like, we're in Mexico. Nobody even knows us here or with friends, family. And it was just like, it just felt like a good time to do
Yeah.
it. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like completely
So
shut me down,
nervous, like
tense. Like it was so funny.
wrap me up in a blanket and keep me at the hotel
Yeah.
room.
So we end up getting downstairs and I'm like, I need 2 shots of tequila and 2 margaritas.
This girl got me so drunk. She got me so drunk.
And then we get into like the part of the resort where the karaoke is. And I'm thinking of like this little dive place. I don't even know what I was thinking of, but it was literally like an auditorium.
There
It
was
was
at
so
least
funny.
150 people in
Oh my
there
God. And we were cracking up.
with a stage, like literal auditorium. Like think back to your high school when there was an auditorium and there was shows or whatever.
Just
it was
that
probably
type of
it
scene.
was probably even bigger than that.
That type of
Okay.
scene.
Yeah.
But it was just hilarious because she's like, there's no way, there's no way.
No.
Then I was like, fine, like you're really not going to do it. Like I really didn't want to do it by myself. I'm just, kibosh on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Swear to
Not
you.
kibosh.
So the lights go off and everything. And
Show's about to start.
Out of this whole place, one of the servers comes up to us and she's like, we have one more spot for karaoke. Do you or any of you guys want to sign up? And I was like, yes, 100%.
Literally,
that was literally a sign
no
from
BS.
God. Like
the place was full. We were sitting in a freaking like corner, basically.
Yeah, lights off.
Lights off. And this random lady, she came up to me in particular. Christy was to my left and she taps me on the shoulder and she's like, I have one spot left. And I looked at Christy. I was like, this is a sign. I guess we're about to do this. So yeah. So then we ended up doing karaoke and I felt like I was super nervous. Like even when I started singing, I was nervous, but then I was not nervous anymore because number one, it was just happening so fast.
Yeah.
You can't even think about it. No. Yeah. And then you couldn't see anything because the lights were so bright. Yep. And awesome. Shout out to Tina and Katie for holding us down too.
Us and a couple of our girls. And we just went to town, Spice Girls, Wannabe. It was like so much fun. Epic. And I swear Raquel's face, like I remember when we finally got off the stage and like just kind of stepped outside and got some air.
It was liberating.
She was like beaming. She was this. That was so much fun. I'm so happy we did that. I'm so happy we did that. I'm so happy you told me to do that. But it was so like, I was happy too. And it was just like, why not? Like, it's fun. Like let loose, have a good time. Like, it's not anything, no judgment. Everyone's on vacation to have a good time. We're all there for the same reason. You get off the stage with the next person gone and you're
yesterday's news.
Yeah. And it's like, who cares? Just enjoy yourself. You know, like live your life. Go do whatever makes you happy.
Guys, I walked off that stage and went to the bathroom. I sweat like crazy. I was dripping.
It was like 100 degrees. That didn't help.
It was also, very hot in Mexico. So, and then the adrenaline and the singing and the stage and the lights. And I was like, what? Like, thank God my hair wasn't done. I think it was just like big and curly from what I can remember.
I don't even know, but
it was wild.
It was a great time. Highly recommend. Definitely do that.
But a lot of fun nonetheless.
Yeah.
So basically the point is look for the things that maybe were taken from you.
Yeah.
Go back and into your life and think of a time when you were happy, like truly happy. And if you can't think of a time, just try incorporating like new things into your schedule that you may think that you might like painting or something, anything, some type of like way to let loose and let your creative side shine, because everybody has a creative side. No one's just like this dull, boring, whatever. And even if you don't like doing that, like I'm sure you like a long walk by the beach or something of the nature.
Read a good book.
Where whatever floats your boat to start filling your cup. Just that really, really stuck with me when he was like, where in your life did you lose your voice? And I'm like, these people took my voice, and I'll be damned if I continue to live my life like this. Like, 100%. Let's just say I'm going to live to be 100. Well, that's 70 more years that I've got, and I'm going to live it like this. I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so. So
that's huge.
Yeah. So all good stuff. We're about 30 minutes in here. I think it's a good time for our surprise random questions.
Okay.
Unless you have something else that you want to pop off for us.
I might have, but I forgot now. So.
No, if you have something.
I don't.
Okay.
I can go back to my book, but we might be here for another hour. So
I'm going to do the honors of drawing first, and I hope it's a good one. Purple. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why? If I could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why? If I could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why? The first thing that comes to my mind is that maybe it's because of the topic that we were just talking about, but sadness. I would just take away the sadness in the world. There are so many things that trigger people, and people get upset about things, and life is just like so short that I feel for for everybody to make the most out of it is to just not have much sadness anymore, like the world's a crazy place. It's always has been and probably always will be, but like just to try to stay as happy as you can and do as much of the stuff that makes you happy. I don't know if that's really a thing to change about the world.
I mean, I don't think you can. I think it's like a person to person, how you handle situations.
Yeah.
But
world peace,
at the
everyone.
same
World peace.
Miss America, everybody.
Yeah. Hi.
Wait.
Oh, damn it. Okay, now you're just ruining it.
I wanted to put some pause for you. I can't read which buttons they actually are, so it was a guess. Anyways, but I think what oh my God. So I think what you were feeling about that was just, I feel like everybody can do something to maybe not feel, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Maybe not take everything so seriously, not get angry about so many things. If you like grief and things like that, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
Do something nice for someone and see if that doesn't make you feel better. Smile at somebody, pay for the person behind you in Starbucks. Like, I feel like all those little things, depending on your mindset, you can either sit in the sadness or you can, just instead of letting the world kind of harden you and project more sadness and more anger or whatever it is, take that and, like for me,
I was going to ask you what would you change?
Well, I was just going to kind of still piggyback off of that, but it's like we've been through our fair share of mess, I guess, for lack of better words, but I always took it as I never want someone to feel the pain that I'm feeling, so I never want to put that on someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what mood I was in or what I was going through personally, I was always smiling and always trying to just be positive because I know what that feels like and I would never want to be the source of that for someone. I'm not saying I haven't been, but growing up and learning and understanding and just kind of gaining that perspective, I feel like it's all about what you're putting out, no matter what situation that you're going through.
Yeah.
It's just important to stay, keep smiling, keep doing and feel the sadness and put it in a place, put it somewhere else, and just keep going and you don't want to put more sadness out there, I guess is the point of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. World peace.
World peace.
Do you want to pull one?
Yeah, I'll pull one. I swear it like already makes me nervous and doing this. I'm always just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't even talk.
We love a good rando popsicle stick pull. At least I do.
I swear the anxiety.
It's just fun because it just like spices it up a little bit. Who cares? Who's even watching this? Will you comment on it so we know who's watching? For the love of God. I mean, it gets views and I don't know who our subscribers are because you're all private. So reveal yourselves.
Yeah. As you really
are. Wait, where's that from? I forgot.
Halloween Town.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we kind of already covered this, so I'm going to pick a new one, but it says handling burnout, knowing when to rest,
I'm over it.
Experiences, blah, 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 blah. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks, so we'll do another one.
Next, I'm just kidding.
Well, I feel like I kind of talked about this too.
Pull a pink one. Pink ones are more personal. Okay. We did that on purpose.
All right, fine.
They should be anyway.
Says, when was the last time you truly felt proud of yourself and why?
Ooh.
I feel like it's been recently in the last couple of weeks.
I wonder
probably.
if you're going to think about what's in my head about you. Okay, but go on.
About me?
About
I'm
you.
Scared. Yeah. I feel like all of this reflection and awareness and all, what we've been on for a minute now. Just coming from, swear I'm like getting emotional, even like putting words together. Sorry. But try to collect myself really quick.
Put the words. Put the words in a sentence.
When you realize, like when you have those aha moments of like all the bullshit that you've gone through and, when you lost your voice and like all of those, all the things that happened in your past, overcoming them, understanding them, and actually moving on from them towards the life that you actually do see for yourself. And sorry, this is so crazy. What's wrong with me?
It's good.
And
Good thing.
actually having that success, and when you are implementing those things and you see them, I don't want to say working, but like what you're getting back from
You're making progress.
Once you've made the progress, even if you don't realize it, tapping into like, okay, I know I talked about like my high school reunion and stuff too, like in previous episodes, but like so much of the shit that I've been unpacking has literally been since then. Like we're talking 17 years of things that I didn't even realize I was still affected by. And it's really unbelievable when like you take the time to realize like where some of the pain and the trauma and the way you are and where all these things come from, to address them all, and knowing that this is not something I want to take into my life anymore. Like going forward, I feel all of these, issues, and I'm not going to go into that. I did not start this podcast to just start airing out all my dirty laundry on the internet. But I will say it was a lot of heavy stuff. And once I did, I don't want to say put it to rest, but once I started to work through it and realized that going forward, I wanted just better for my life in general, for the people around me, for, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And slowly but surely, things started happening. And now I just feel like a completely different person.
And you're still making progress.
And it's a never ending thing.
Right.
It just is what it is. Like you think, oh, I just want to do this to get to the next thing. Like it's a constant. It's a work in progress.
But
forever.
I think also, just from what you're saying, it reminded me of a quote that your past doesn't define who you are. And I think going forward,
but I used to let it.
But
a long time.
You don't even realize that is how you've lost your voice, is because you let everything leading up to this point define who you are.
Right. And it's not just one thing. That's the thing. It's all these little things that just like slowly but surely, like it's like a dimmer, like a light dimmer.
Yeah.
You start bright, like vibrant, and then like
100%.
as time goes on, it's just like dimming until it's dark. And then you're just like, what happened?
Who turned the lights off? Who turned the lights off? It's so dark in here.
But I swear it's like it's heavy to think about. And I don't even know if I said anything that made sense just now, because
I think you made sense.
I was trying to go around a lot of stuff in my head.
Around the facts that you're actually speaking about, but it's you don't have to share whatever.
It's not everybody's business. And maybe
that
one
you're not
day
comfortable with.
We'll see. But
no, it's not a big deal.
Regardless, though, for any progress that you've made with whatever you're doing, be proud of yourself, be proud of your journey, and embrace who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, because everybody has it and everybody goes through it.
I always say that
it's
too.
Okay.
Like everybody carries around this sack of shit that's stinky. Even though you can't like see it or figure out what it is. Like don't just like walk by people and think like, oh, they're perfect. Like everybody goes through something. We don't all live the same life, but we all live a life. And with life comes life. Like it just this is how it is. So don't ever think that you're striving to some type of like perfection. You just want to be a little bit better than you were before, whatever that means to you, and figure out how to turn the lights back on.
Yeah, exactly.
Billy Joel.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited.
Fire song. Turn the lights back on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We're going to the concert, so we're pretty,
can't wait.
We're pretty excited.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's gonna be so amazing.
Ever. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah.
What was your question?
I didn't have one.
No, the question on the popsicle stick. About a time when you felt proud of yourself.
Yes.
About a time when you felt.
When did you?
I know. I was trying to think about that.
I feel like I haven't asked you any questions this whole time.
That's fine. When have I been ever proud of myself? This is going to sound like I'm an arrogant person, but I stay proud of myself because my the last call it 4 years of my life have been a transformation of who I am as a person.
Mhm.
And every year I just seem to like chip away at all the shit that I used to do or whatever. And, you know, figuring out how to turn my lights back on has been the last 4 years. And there's been a lot of things that I've cut out of my life. There's been a lot of things that I've included in my life. And I've progressed for the past 4 years because that other Raquel that once walked this earth is not this Raquel that walks the earth.
Mhm.
So every year I feel like I've gotten a little bit better. And I have my moments where if I'm down or whatever, I'm not saying that like that's why I started this by saying I'm gonna sound very arrogant, but I don't mean it in an arrogant way. I'm saying like there's just been so much self work in my life along with building a business, like even before you got into real estate, like I was in real estate for 4 or 5 years before I even started getting good at it. Like I wasn't anything good. Like, I mean,
But you
whatever.
were.
I mean, I did my thing, but like I wasn't like I couldn't sustain like a whole business and I wasn't like putting myself out there. I wasn't doing any of the things that like I should have been doing to have it as a full-time
But you
job.
didn't know what you didn't know either.
Right.
And you still were able to help your friends and family, who
Yeah.
you still were able to learn, like,
Yeah, but
and you
going
did
hand in
a
hand.
lot of it by yourself,
Yeah,
which is that's hard.
it is.
That's hard
Yeah,
for
and it,
sure.
it put me on my ass for like a long time for the however many years that I was in it. I went from broker to broker to broker and I was like, well, hopefully this one works out. And then EXP just changed the trajectory and it's been a blessing ever since. But like a lot of the like people that came into my life, like I wasn't going out. I barely went out to lunch with friends. And I remember one of my friends, I had a closing and he was like, "You wanna, like, go grab lunch?" And I was like, "I don't know, like, do you wanna even go grab lunch?" Like, I was to the point where, like, I didn't even wanna leave the house, you guys. Like, I was like, "I don't even know if I want to be in a public place and maybe see people that I once knew." Like, I was there. I was, like, so traumatized that I was like, "I don't like, people are so evil. I don't want to. No." But he was like, "No, come on, like we have to go celebrate you and your closing and it's, and you're on this team now and it's blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Okay, like all right, I can maybe do that." And so we went to Uptown and grabbed a bite to eat and I was like, "Hey, I just like want you to know like thanks for bringing me out cuz like I haven't been out in like years and I've been just living in this bubble of like of confusion, basically." And he's like, "Oh my God, like what? Why? Like you're such a good person." I'm like, "Well, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's everyone
It's my
else."
trauma and what
Yeah.
I just went
Yeah.
through and
Yeah. So
but look how God brings people into your life like that.
yes.
And it's at the time, things always work out the way they're meant to. Like that's I believe that wholeheartedly and puts people in your life for a reason. And
Yeah.
that was such a big thing for you. And I remember like you just getting out and just coming back and like I really enjoyed myself and
Yeah.
we had so much fun and
Yeah.
I'm glad
And
I had my closing and it's a
yeah.
good day
And I
and
made new
yeah.
friends and I just kind of started building a life, like literally started building a life for myself. And then I got pretty good at this whole real estate thing. And then I started meeting some pretty cool people. And then I kind of started doing some other, you know, thing. I mean, whatever. I was partying because I was having fun and just whatever. I started golfing. I was like, this is fun. I like this. I start golfing. It's just like so many things that I just started implementing into my life. So I would just say, just to nip it in the bud, to answer this question is just, I'm just proud of the progress that I've been able to make over the last like 4 years of my life cuz totally different person. Just really tried to come out of a place that no one wants to be in. And it's just
Yeah. But I
a
think
way of life
that's
that
another thing though. It's like you have to want that and what you're not changing, you're choosing,
right. You got
so
to work
you
at
have
it
to
too. You can't
yeah,
just
and
sit in your
be
own
aware of
misery.
it and
Yeah.
little by little things things will happen, and then you
Yeah.
just wake up one day and you have a completely different life.
Yeah.
And it's
4
wild.
years later, and I have a podcast with Big Sis. We've got our own, company and business that we run, and amazing, incredible people around me. Like, I'm so blessed. Like, I don't even know how. I mean, I'm grateful, and I feel like we're really like in God's like favor, because like I'm just like, wow, like we really are surrounded by some incredible human beings that are just genuine and amazing. Our family is just super supportive, and we have like the most amazing nieces. Like, I didn't even know I could love like this. Like, just so many things. And I'm like, man, God, you're just raining all these blessings. Like,
but
it's just so great.
It's beautiful.
Like,
and like I think
to
that's
finally
such
get
a
to a
huge
place. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that, to come from where I was just coming from, like we'll call
Right.
it 17 years ago, because that's kind of
Right.
when shit hit the fan.
Right.
It's like you fast forward to now and you're like, God is just amazing. Like, you like things that are happening now that, that time ago didn't even seem possible. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful thing. And I know, everything comes with time and where you are in your life, and, different opportunities, different, wherever your journey takes you. But I
Little
feel
by
like
little.
now, yeah, just it's amazing to be in the place that you once prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's so important to remember that, because
Mm-hmm.
you're always going to want more. There's always going to be another thing, and there's always, another shiny object. But at the same time, like, staying in gratitude to just take a look around and look at your circle and look at your family and look at your progress and your business and whatever that means for you. I'm just talking about us, of course, but
yeah,
it's a really beautiful thing. And we are definitely blessed. So
yeah.
I'm grateful.
Grateful. What's that saying? Thankful, grateful, and blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Have a good day.
Well, I guess that's it for us today, guys.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
This was a fun one.
As always. We'll see what the future holds. We are in December. It's December 7th today. And the holidays are coming up. Super excited for that. Christmas will be in a couple weeks, and New Year's in a couple weeks. And I hope you guys are just doing all of the things to keep your mind right and get everything in order.
Family. Yeah. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Go to a tree lighting.
Go to a concert.
Go sing karaoke. Go do something fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. And let us know what you did.
Do it all. Let us know what you're doing. And whether it's business wise or personal, we would want to hear from you and hear all of your ideas, and comment or whatever you got to do. Maybe you'll spark a light in somebody else that's watching, and maybe in us. And of course, that's why we want to keep doing this podcast, is obviously for our own therapeutic reasons.
Right. Maybe we just needed a podcast.
But also like for you, and maybe help somebody else along their journey. But thanks again for hanging with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
If you want to get in touch, propertysistersnetwork@gmail.com. Like and subscribe to our podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram at Property Sisters of Michigan and say hello. Follow us. We'll follow you back. And I think we're doing a giveaway soon.
Oh, yeah, we definitely are.
There's some stuff.
So stay tuned for that.
Stuff cooking,
working on a couple things.
Yeah, we're just putting it all together right now, but there's going to be a lot of goodies in there in this giveaway.
Our favorite things.
It's going to be the Property Sisters favorite things. And it's going to be only one lucky winner. Winter?
You said winter.
Oh, one lucky winner that takes everything. Okay, well, I guess you can.
All right, we're done now, guys.
You can sign us off. Thank you, guys.
Right.
Have a blessed day. Have a great, great week, and we will see you next week.
See you next time.